Hello everyone, welcome back to another review, and this time we're going to be covering Jason X, the 10th entry into the Jason franchise. And oh boy, this one's a doozy. Okay, so I'm going to make this very brief. This movie is so stupid and so retarded that it's actually really fun. Jason X is a really fun watch if you turn your brain off and just like watch it for its sheer ridiculousness. Jason in space. The possibilities are endless. Now, in terms of a serious Jason movie, this movie is a failure. But in terms of like a fun Friday the 13th movie, I'll give this one some props because it is it is a fun movie. The movie's directed by Jim Isaac and written by Todd Farmer, and I think that they do an okay job at pushing the boundaries of what they can do with the Jason character in a different setting. This movie has got some really cool visuals going on every now and then by Jim Isaac, but it also has a lot of visuals that are just painfully eye-bleeding to look at. I mean, like, you look at the CGI in this movie compared to how other movies were back in 2002, and you're gonna be like, "Oh Jesus Christ, this movie screams out low budget." And that's what this movie is. This movie is very low budget, and the CG effects look terrible. Now, from a writing standpoint, the characters aren't really all that intriguing to me, but they do have a sense of wittiness to them. They do have a couple of good lines here and there. For me, the one character that really stands out is this character called Brodsky, played by Peter Menza, who, if you've seen 300, he plays the Persian messenger that gets kicked into the pit of death. He plays a character called Brodsky, and I like his character a lot. I like the, this badass stoic look that he has, but he also has an honorable quality to him. And I like, how he's the leader of this team called the Grunts, which is like an army. So I like all that. All that stuff is really well. The stuff with Peter Menza and these grunts, I thought was pretty cool. The actual scene where Jason hunts down those grunts one by one, I think to me, are the best directed scenes in the whole movie. They got good suspense. He takes them out in a variety of different ways, which brings me to the kills. A lot of the kills in this movie are pretty cool. Of course, there's the infamous scene where Jason freezes the girl's face and then bashes her head in. That scene's classic. There's also a cool scene where he he pushes a guy off a ledge, and he falls into a giant screw, and you just see him spin. And this character has like a great line where she says, "He's screwed." You have this other kill, which I thought was pretty cool, where he pretty much cuts a guy in half, and it was just like, ooh, very painful to look at. And then to see him like clawing with no bottom half, it's creepy stuff. So in terms of kills, this movie is pretty good. In terms of atmosphere and direction, certain scenes is really good. For the rest, it's just okay. The overall look of the spaceship that they're in is not bad at all. It's a little too colorful for my taste. And I actually agree with Todd Farmer. When you look back at it at a hindsight, he was going in there expecting something like The Dark Knight, and instead he got Joel Schumacher, Batman Forever, and Batman Begins. And Batman and Robin type of cinematography and visual aesthetic. It's very flashy, very poppy. And that's actually another thing that I both like and I dislike at the same time. Like, I would have liked to have seen a more grittier looking outer space, but I do admire the very underlined Jack Kirby influence of the outer space with the poppy, flashy colors and stuff like that. So I got nothing. So it's hit or miss, but I'll take it. Another character that I actually do like is this character called KM, who's like this human android, and she and Jason have a pretty kick-ass fight, and she actually kills Jason before Jason comes back as Uber Jason. Like actual Terminator Jason, and the look of Uber Jason is amazing. Like, he just looks like a complete badass. I like, and of course, as Uber Jason, it comes too late in the film for my taste. For me, I would have had Uber Jason come in a little earlier instead of coming in like the last 10, 15 minutes of the movie, I would have had him come in at like I would have had him come in, I say around in the middle part of the movie. That's just me, of course. But Jason, like I said, going back to some of the kills, Jason does have a couple of kills. You know, and some characters another character that I do like is this character called Lo, who's like this sleazy asshole who just wants to make a quick buck and will do whatever he can to, and Jason takes him out, but you don't see it, unfortunately. There's this other character called Kinsa, who is a whiny little bitch, and I wanted Jason to kill her so bad, but he didn't do it. She kills herself by mistake, whatever. I do like the whole scene where they do like a modulation of Camp Crystal Lake from the 1980s, and of course you get the infamous another sleeping bag death, and that was fun to watch. Seeing this Uber Jason in 1980s Crystal Lake was surreal, but cool at the same time. Now the story in this movie is fucking muddled as hell. I really don't know what the story is. But like I said, aside from a couple of characters, particularly the Brodsky character, and KM, I don't really care for anyone else. I mean, they got some witty lines here and there. Like one character says, "This sucks on so many levels," and then she gets pulled through like this vent, which was really cool. But yeah, I mean, like the directing, like I said, is in certain areas is done really well, and other areas is just flat. The writing, like, also can really fall flat, and like I said, a lot of the actors just don't have that on-screen charisma to hold this movie. Of course, Kane. I am not gonna, praise Kane Hodder because it's Kane. I can't praise Kane Hodder enough. Whenever I see him portray Jason, it's like he'll always be awesome, and he'll always make chicken salad out of chicken shit. The man is that talented as an actor and a stuntman, and it's a gift that he'll possess. And of course, like I said, Jason, the man was meant for Jason. He gives Jason his the menace and everything that comes with it. So it's great. So Kane Hodder as Jason in this movie is always good. And a lot of and aside from this character Brodsky, no one else to me comes across as a badass like Brodsky, because Brodsky, at the end of the movie, actually goes, face head to head with Jason. They have like a little clash, which I thought was pretty cool. And Brodsky actually gets to get the kill shot on Jason. Like Jason's floating, like the whole climax is that the ship is about to explode, and they're trying to get off the ship and to go aboard like a rescue ship. So the ship explodes and Jason's floating through space, and he's just about to hit the other ship. Then Brodsky comes out of nowhere and just like, "Fuck you!" And they both like supernova down to Earth and land in a lake. And that's how Jason X ends. So, and that's pretty much how this review is going to end too. So I think overall, I'm going to give Jason X, I'm going to get a 5 out of 10. It's a fun movie, but it has a lot of problems with it, particularly with a lack of interesting characters, and the directing and writing could have been more tighter. But you can clearly tell this movie, had a lot of backstage heat. And if you see documentaries, this movie did have a lot of backstage heat. But, whatever. It is what it is. Anyway, I'm AJ Legend. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll check you back next time for more.